G'day everyone, in today's episode I'll be reviewing the companion Rover 100. So today I've decided to review this companion Rover 100 simply because I purchased this unit 12 months ago. It was back in September of 2022. So 12 months on, I thought it was a great opportunity to show you how I use it and how well it performed during my recent adventures. This particular unit 12 months ago cost $12.99, and I just had a look online recently and they're still about that same price. Now I paid $12.99, but the original price was $14.99. I managed to score the display model, and obviously there's always something wrong with a display model. So I took it back and I swapped it over out of the box for a brand new one for the same price, which is $12.99. So I'll just go outside and I'll show you how I use this thing. I'll plug it into the car and show you exactly how I've got it set up. See you out there. Right, so I've just popped out to the car and I'll just show you how I've got the Rover set up in this particular vehicle. I've got a Nissan Navara NP300. So I've just got it sitting down there in the front footwell. I don't have any passengers when I go on my trips, so I can utilise that space. So it just sits there in the footwell there. And you basically got your charging port from the input of your cigarette lighter. So that plugs in there only when the ignition is on. And that just sits down in there, nice and tucked away. That's one good design about this vehicle. And then your fridge, I've switched over to an Anderson plug. They've got Anderson connections on this unit, and instead of using the 12-volt outlets that are on this Rover, I've opted for the Anderson. They don't pop out and whatnot, don't get damaged. So I just pop that in there. So there it is. I've just plugged that in, and then the other one is also down. That you get two of those, so that's fantastic if you want to go silly and run two appliances. We'll just turn this thing on. I've got the fridge in the back. It is on completely off, so we'll use the Anderson on button. So if the unit's already on, these little green lights are already illuminated. You actually have to press Anderson again, and that will supply power to the Anderson plug. Let's just watch this thing. So it's sitting on 12.4, 100%, 99 hours and 59 minutes. It actually lasts a little bit longer than that. And there we go. The fridge is now up and running. See how high it goes. Looking at the fridge and freezers turned on. Don't take much notice of the hours there. Whoops. That don't mean too much. I don't believe that fluctuates. I mean, once the fridge turns off, it will shoot back up to 97 hours or something like that. So it's a little bit iffy with those sort of stats. But it's running at a steady pace there, 3 amps an hour. So that's not too bad. But once that fridge and freezer's chilled down to its current setting temperature, which I've got the, just take a look at that now. So the Domantec is currently sitting on 16 in the fridge and 15 in the freezer section there. And I have it set at +3 for the fridge and -6 for the freezer. It does go down to, I think, -18 with this model, I'm pretty sure. You don't need it that low. I've had no trouble with -6. You're going on a weekly trip, 2 days. You don't really need to have everything completely solid. At least it's under the temperature where it's not going to go off in a short period of time. We'll come back and check in on this and see how long it takes. before it cools right down to its chilled temperature. We'll see how many percent of the lithium batteries disappeared as well. See you then. Righto, so I've just popping out to the car to see if this fridge is ready. It's been 50 minutes. So there you have it, -5. So it's got 1 more degree there. It fluctuates, so it's probably ready. It's turned off. So, oh, there we go. It goes back on again. We actually, the fridge is right down to 1, so it's overcooled itself because there's no food in here. That's one thing I like about this particular fridge, and I'll do a review on this in the near future. I haven't had it that long, so I can't really speak too much about it. But it's always a little bit cooler than what you set it at, so that's one good thing about it. Let's see what it's using. It's currently on and off, on and off. It was off when I got here. Let's have a look. So it's currently still running. I will be nice to wait until it turns off to get the, so I can show you what the hours are doing. I'll just wait for that to do that. Rightio, so it's just turned off. It's fully chilled now at those 2 settings I showed you. Look at that. It's only used 5% in 50 minutes. So it's taken from completely warm fridge freezer, it's taken 50 minutes to only use 5% of the life. And that's that number I was talking about. So it actually hasn't changed. So it's still going to go for 99 hours and 59 seconds. So that's fantastic. So yeah, it's still going to last another, according to this, another 4 or 5 days. There's no food in there, and on standby mode, as you look at that, it's only using 0.1 of an amp just to have the light illuminated. Righto, so I'm going for the full charging up here now. I might even put the fridge on, so I'll just downgrade the temperature, get some power back here, -1. We can go to -10. I've had it on -10 before. We'll try that. Right, fridge is running. All these appliances are on, so we're charging 2 GoPro batteries, the phone on the quick charge cable, and the laptop there through 12 volts. We've got the laptop HP Pavilion that's charging. Let's have a look how much power it's using with all those appliances. It's only using 5.6 amps an hour. That's incredible. So we've got the USB for the dual battery charger for GoPro batteries. We've got the fast charger for the iPhone, and we got the 12 volt power pack for your laptop, plus the fridge, which I've made -10 for the freezer and 2 for the fridge. So that's incredible, isn't it? 5.5 amp hours. And this is where it gets really interesting. So you might have all that running now, and say you're changing locations. Let's turn the car on. So I've just turned the vehicle on. Now obviously there's more going out than going in, so at the moment from the vehicle it's only putting in 0.6 of an amp hour, unfortunately, and I'm taking out 5, so yeah, you're not really getting ahead, but it feeds in 0.6 instead of draining 5. It'll only drain, it'll only drain 5, it won't drain 5.6 because it's putting the 0.6 back in. So that's just a little side note there, but I've never had it jacked up like this in one time. Normally you charge one appliance at a time and whatnot. So there you have it. So I'll just show you how much it charges without any appliances plugged in. Well, you're not going to believe it, a little bit of a mystery. The car's actually charging it at 5.7 amps an hour, and when I had all the appliances plugged in, it was actually drawing out 5, so that's pretty cool. So basically when the car's running, you're charging the unit and it's taking it straight back out of the unit, so you're not losing any power. So it will remain on 95% the whole time you're driving. Say you're driving for 2 hours to your next location, you've got all these appliances charging, they'll remain at that current percentage, 95%, no change. Righto guys, I thought I'd show you what it looks like inside charging off the DC port there now. So just put the power on, and there we have it. So it's pumping in 7.3 amp hours to charge this thing, and at 95, it's obviously only 95% there, 95%, and we're looking at it's going to take 25 minutes to get to 100. It don't take long to charge inside. On a solar panel, I'm pretty sure it draws in a little bit more. I'm not 100% sure on that because I haven't actually owned a solar panel, or haven't hooked one up before to any of these units. So yeah, but I'm happy with it, very happy with the input. So we'll just take a look at the light feature on this particular machine. So it's got a spotlight feature if it goes on. It's a little bit funny, I don't know if you have to hold it on for a few seconds. There we go. So it's got a spotlight, reasonably bright. I mean, it's the middle of the day. I tried to make the room as dark as possible. As you can see, it's got this straight spotlight. If you press it again, it flashes like some SOS type flashing there, and then it's got constant flashing. I don't use that feature at all. It's sort of nothing I really use in that sense of things. It's mainly for when you're carrying the device to your tent or you're turning it off. So I have a few troubles turning these things off. I don't know how to turn that off. Hold it down. Yeah, I think you hold it down for 3 seconds or something. So I don't use that. But one thing I have used, I recently, oh, not recently, but that last blackout we had was a 24-hour blackout. So I had no power. So there is a giant light on here as well. Look at that. Lights up the whole room. I have this sitting in the kitchen when there is a blackout, simply because I like to hook up the Wi-Fi, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. There's a Wi-Fi connection is possible to connect to this device, and being out in the middle of nowhere is very handy to have. And we'll just turn, that's quite bright, I'm happy with that. So, fantastic. So that's the light feature. As you've seen in the car, I was using one of these 12-volt chargers for your laptop. And I recently discovered it has the same ports for the Wi-Fi modem in your house. So I've just got one of those 4G Optus modems, and at the back of it, it has a DC power inlet. So what you do is you're going to select the required connection, and ended up being, that's the laptop, and I've found this one here. So it's the same as the 240. That just plugs in quite nicely. And just plug in this Wi-Fi. I mean, it's not going to draw much. You've got your 3 LED lights there. Let's see what it draws. Bugger all. So 0.3. It's not even, the machine's not even running. If you're drawing enough power, the Rover kicks in and you end up with that running noise. It's not even doing that. So you can actually have Wi-Fi if you ever have a blackout. Well, there you have it, guys, and there's the review for the Companion Rover 100. I hope you got something out of this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas or how you use yours, any questions about the Rover. I'm happy to answer to the best of my abilities. I couldn't work out a list of pros and cons. I mean, the only con I can think about in this particular situation is there's no 240 volt outlet. So that's the only downside if you're looking for a power station. But it's packed with 1217 watt hours. So it's fantastic if you want to go on a weekly trip or a 2-day, 3-day trip. It's perfect for that sort of situation. It's perfect for blackouts, especially out in the country here, where you can have 24-hour blackouts. And all the pros, well, I've mentioned them throughout the video. It's lightweight as well, so you can carry it around. And I'm well aware that the 40 amp is also much lighter, so you ever buy the smaller model. Until next time, thanks for watching.